Despite his gruff outward appearance, Darunia is a soft-hearted Goron who will do anything to protect his friends. Being the leader of the Goron tribe as well as the hidden Sage of Fire, Darunia has a responsibility to protect Hyrule when she is in danger. And luckily, he's brought along his giant hammer in order to help him restore order. At first glance, Darunia seems like the typical slow and strong type, and while that isn't totally untrue, it's not all he is either. While his hammer strikes do pack a wallop, he can be surprisingly nimble when he needs to be, due to the Goron's famous rolling techniques. When attacking, Darunia brings out 7 total strikes, which have a good amount of focus as well as area targeting. He will slam his hammer down, do so again, swing to the left, then swing a few more times while spinning to the right, slams his foot down, which attacks in a circle around him, spins forward, swinging his hammer a total of 4 times while moving forward, and then he will finish off with a big hammer pounding, which causes a spout of lava to appear, which can cause the fire element status. His attack string is actually pretty great, and the first 2 attacks in particular are actually pretty fast. The later parts of the combo, especially the spin and the lava slam, will utterly destroy crowds by gathering them first into one place, and then hurling them all away with the fire damage which is caused by the explosion. This attack string's one weakness comes from trying to use it against weak point gauges, which will usually disappear before he can finish them due to Darunia's delay between the second and third hit. He does have ways around this, which we will get into with his heavy attack. By hitting heavy attack with Darunia, it will cause him to roll into a ball and spin forward. This attack can be elongated by hitting heavy attack again after Darunia has slightly bounced into the air, which is usually good to do whenever you've hit an enemy. Any foe that you roll into gets grabbed by the spinning, and whenever you have someone caught, Darunia will finish this off with a big palm slap that does excellent damage. This spin attack is also your best way for breaking officer weak point gauges. You'll need to be careful in order to time it right, but once you have someone caught while their gauge is open, the subsequent rolling and palm slap is almost guaranteed to break it. Next up, Darunia's first combo has him summon up fire in his left hand and pound his hammer with it, causing a small explosion. This explosion will also send his hammer back over his head and explode behind him as well. Do note that you can end this attack early by dodge canceling after the first explosion. To be honest, this attack isn't really that useful, since its animation is too long in any case to really allow any kind of juggling, and it comes out too slowly to really be used against weak point gauges. Darunia's second combo, where he turns around and does a jumping butt slam, is actually a really great attack. It's somewhat fast, and the slam creates a circle shockwave around you, which is good at hitting your target and those around them. Darunia's third combo, where he sticks his hammer in the ground before pounding it with his body, throwing out fire in a long line ahead of him, is probably Darunia's best attack, as well as one of the better third combos in the game. The reasons for this are simple. The range is excellent, and Darunia can throw this out surprisingly quick. Hyrule Warriors incorporates a lot of long hallways into its level design, which can make enemies that are marching from one place to another very easy prey for Darunia. Also, don't forget that any enemies that are sent by this will also become little bombs themselves by picking up the fire element status that it causes. Darunia's fourth combo has him stick his hammer in the ground and pound it again. However, this time it will cause a circular lava pool to appear around him, which lingers for a little bit after he pulls his hammer out. The lava pool doesn't send enemies flying, but it will rather instantly stun them as well as doing a good amount of damage. This attack doesn't really have a lot of range, so it's best used when trying to damage more focused targets. Darunia's fifth and final combo has him summon a giant flaming boulder from the sky, which he throws forwards quite a ways. The explosion from this will cause the fire status as well as do very heavy damage. This attack is good for doing some AoE damage a little bit in front of you, making this a better option than his third combo only when enemies aren't exactly in a very good line. Darunia's collection of combos is a really mixed bag. Some of them, like the second, third, and fifth combos, are extremely useful in a lot of situations. However, there are realistically less times to be able to use his first and fourth combo effectively, making him lose some potential. Still, the best attacks that Darunia has are really good, and many of them absolutely tear up the enemy ranks with massive fire explosions. Probably his biggest weakness is not really having a really great strategy for breaking down boss weak points, meaning that most likely you should really hold on to your force special meter for these kinds of occasions, as using them repeatedly against the boss is really the best way that Darunia is going to have to be able to break their weak points when they appear. While Darunia does have some rather glaring weaknesses, understanding what he can and can't do well is key to getting the most out of him. Still, when the occasion calls for a big, smash-happy, explosive warrior, there is no one better than Darunia.